I'm Maggie Vespa. Welcome to The Story. I will warn you, we are starting tonight on a tough note. As you can see, I'm not in the studio. I'm in a neighborhood in Southeast Portland where a woman died on a hot sidewalk 50 feet from her home. It happened amid Oregon's record-setting heat wave back in June. Now, we're talking about it tonight for two reasons. Reason number one, Ashlyn Maddox's mom flew to Portland last week to mark her daughter's birthday by visiting her grave. And reason number two, that family still feels like they don't have clarity on how this happened and how they can keep other families from going through the same hell.
Don't worry, you know I'll always be there for you, Ash. Through the good times and the bad times. I'm here. Your mama's here. In Jesus' name, amen, amen.
When you lose someone you love, those first holidays and birthdays are pure pain.
Baby, happy birthday. I'll see you on the other side. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen.
Thursday, Ashlyn Maddox would have been 37. Her mom, Cheryl, flew in from Las Vegas to visit her only child at Rose City Cemetery. Extended family and friends came too. One friend said she had planned to pick Maddox up the day she died, the hottest day in Portland's history. But those plans fell through. Months of grief poured out.
I love you too. I know.
Her family knew Maddox as a smart, kind little girl who grew up into an accomplished young woman, a one-time nurse with a sharp sense of humor. By and large, the public came to know Maddox as a tragic victim of this summer's record heat wave. She was one of the nearly 100 Oregonians who died when temps soared above triple digits for days on end back in June.
It's like an accident that didn't necessarily have to happen.
Yeah. But it was a tragedy. It never should have occurred.
KGW first covered Maddox's story back in August after state records showed she died on a hot sidewalk just 50 feet from her home. It was June 28th. The high, 116 degrees, a record in Portland. Having battled epilepsy and multiple strokes, Maddox lived in an adult care home in Southeast Portland. That day, she relied on a medical transport service, Ride to Care, to get to a doctor's appointment. Nest camera video from a neighbor's home shows the driver dropping Maddox off at the curb in front of the house next door. The company maintains that driver followed protocol. Instead of going into her home, Maddox appears to walk the other direction. The Ride to Care car then drives away. We don't know where Ashlyn Maddox goes for nearly 2 hours, but around 5 p.m., at the peak of the day's heat, someone saw her lying on the sidewalk.
Then I just ran back in the house and told my son, get ice, get water, get towels.
A neighbor called 911. Maddox was unresponsive in the scorching heat.
There's a lot of phlegm coming out of her mouth.
Okay.
I'd like to get her out of the heat.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Are you with her right now?
Well, there's about 2-3 people with her right now.
It was too late. A medical examiner would later say Maddox died of hyperthermia or overheating. Maddox's death triggered investigations into both the ride service that dropped her off and the adult care home where she lived. The question, in that dangerous heat, was someone legally required to make sure she got inside? This month, the county released its report into the adult care home in Southeast Portland. Investigators specifically looked into whether staff neglected Maddox that day and whether that neglect contributed to her death. The final result? Inconclusive. The county found no clear evidence of wrongdoing. The facility's owner has declined to comment. Then there's Ride to Care, the transport service that dropped Maddox off at the curb. Ride to Care is run by Health Share of Oregon, an agency that is supposed to support people on Medicaid. A rep for Health Share of Oregon maintains the driver followed protocol in Maddox's case, which only required a curb-to-curb transport, even amid the extreme heat. That rep also tells KGW the case was, by law, turned over to the Oregon Health Authority for an independent investigation. In a statement, OHA officials said they cannot comment on the specifics of an individual case, but that they put the health and safety of OHP members at the center of decision-making, and that they expect the same from all of their coordinated care organizations and subcontractors.
It was too hot. It was too hot. I thought it was too hot. Mama, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Maddox's family is tracking all of this. They believe someone should have made sure she got inside that day. In their words, they want justice.
You know what, it'd be so hot in Las Vegas, and every time when I went outside and stuff and I thought about Ash and how she was on that hot ground, and I don't know how they ain't reliable. They reliable for the death of my child. Because if he would have dropped her off at home where she lived at and said, I'm gonna leave it alone, I gotta let my lawyer, I can't run my mouth, I'm gonna leave that alone, let my lawyers take care of that.
And on that final note, we did confirm that Hollins has hired an attorney based here in Portland. I spoke to him via phone, and he says he is looking into this case, but they haven't taken any action yet. If we get any kind of update from him or from the Oregon Health Authority, we will absolutely let you know.